Hi, it's Eric Monkman joining you from Oakville, Ontario, Canada.
Hi, I'm Bobby Seagull, and I'm from East Ham in the London Borough of Newham.
Welcome to Monkman and Seagull's Stay-at-Home Pub Quiz. Thank you for joining us. We hope that wherever you are, you're keeping safe and well. Bobby and I are doing this because we love quizzing, because we need something to do in these times of social isolation, and we want to give our brains and your brains a bit of exercise. We've introduced ourselves, but Bobby, why don't you say a little more about who we are?
Yes, some of us, of you watching now, may be sort of dragged along by your partners, your grandparents, your husbands or wives, or your children. Like, who are these Monkman and Seagull guys we're watching? Why are we watching a quiz on a Saturday night with them? I'll tell you why. So Eric and I were captains of rival teams on University Challenge. So Eric, you were captain of which team?
Wolfson College, Cambridge.
And I was captain of Emmanuel College, Cambridge. You can see our Emmanuel mascots in the background. I managed to get this Manny the Lion, who actually,
Oh, yeah.
Manny the Lion actually ended up being in the final for Wolfson. He was one of their
Yeah,
mascots.
we,
There's
we,
Manny.
we, uh, we were allowed to borrow him for a while.
Borrowed him for the final. And then we've got Kleiny the Bottle, a mathematical object one of my year 8 students made, and our scarf, which all teams will have. So Eric and I met in the semi-final. Our teams met. Eric's team won, went to the final. After that, initially we had Radio 4. We did a Monkman and Seagull's Polymathic Adventure, looking at, I guess, what does it mean to be knowledgeable on the frontiers of knowledge. And Stephen Fry was one of our guests. That was amazing, wasn't it, Eric?
It was a lot of fun. We met some great people, Stephen Fry, Himanshu Singh, and fellow who wrote The Man Who Knew
Thomas Young,
Everything.
yeah, his name alludes to
Thomas
Andrew
Young,
Robinson.
Robinson, and um, universities in the modern world, I think.
Yeah, I think they were the main ones. So we did that Radio 4 show. And then afterwards, Eric and I, you can see our faces, we made the Monkman and Seagull quiz book. Really originally named, but that's what we made. Monkman and Seagull quiz book. And then after that, the BBC approached us and says, you guys are really good friends and you're knowledgeable. How about we give you a mini car and tell you to explore Britain's sites of scientific and technological interest? So they had Monkman and Seagull's Genius Guide to Britain, 4 episodes where we went around England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, looking at really cool bits of science and history around the UK. And we're so glad that the public liked it so much that what happened, Eric, after series 1?
We're going to make series 2. Now, before I go on, I should add that Stefan Collini was our 4th guest on that radio show.
That's
It's a lot of
exactly
fun to meet him too. But next up for Monkman and Seagull is Monkman and Seagull's Genius Guide to the Age of Invention. It's about the history of science and technology in Britain from 1750 to 1900. Over 3 hour-long episodes, we'll play some dress up, we'll do some experiments, and we'll learn about the great scientists and inventors of the time and their ideas. You can see some pictures from our upcoming show on our Twitter pages. Mine is at E_Monkman, at E_MONKMAN. Bobby, what's your Twitter page?
Yep. So I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Bobby_Seagull. So BOBBY and Seagull as it's spelled up there.
Yeah, you got a jersey there. That's pretty cool. 24th November. What's the significance?
Oh, one of my cousins went to watch West Ham versus Leicester in London, and he got a scarf. He forgot it, and so I thought I'll keep it here.
Okay. The other place you can look for info about our show, any upcoming announcements, is at the Twitter page of the production company, which is at Label One TV. That's LABEL, the digit 1 TV. So, now that you've heard a little bit about us and what we've been up to since our appearances on University Challenge, how about we explain the rules? Now, to play this game, you're going to need a writing implement. Got one there, Bobby? Yeah, good stuff. You'll need some paper, useful to have around, and your quizzing skills. Pick a team name, even if you're just playing by yourself. Get a good name. What's our name? What's our name for quizzing, Bobby?
Oh, were we Canadian Gulls?
Canadian Gulls, the Monk Gull Hordes.
The Monk Gull Hordes. We're the Monk Gull Hordes. You don't want to
Monk
take on the
Gull
Monk Gull
Hordes.
Hordes.
Yeah. There will be 6 rounds of 5 questions each. For those of you playing against those with whom you're isolated, or if you're competing with friends over the internet, each correctly answered question is worth 1 point. Have I missed any rules, Bobby?
No, I think they've got all the rules there. So there's, as I did say, there's 6 rounds, 5 questions each. You can do a bit of maths there. 6 times 5, 30 questions. Maximum score available is 30 points. First round will be pop culture. The second one will be geography. And that looks like a world map. Third one is charades. Then we got history. I don't know that I meant like that's more drama.
History, yeah, yes.
Yeah, or like a king, tyrant.
King, yes.
Genghis, history. Then we got a school round. I was trying to be like a school child. School round. And then we got a music round.
It's going to be exciting.
Good
luck, everyone.
So before we start, just a bit of social media. So again, it's on our YouTube channel, Monkman and Seagull. Please feel free to comment, respond, questions, how you're doing. Again, use your social media at E_D_Monkman.
It's E_Monkman, no D in the middle.
E_Monkman on Twitter, and then Bobby_Seagull on Twitter, Instagram, and you got at Label One TV. And again, if you have any suggestions of ideas, things that we could do, please let us know. And I think it might be time to start round 1.
Good luck.
Good luck, everyone. I hope you got your teams and WhatsApp, FaceTime. I've also discovered an app called House Party, where you can compete against family members on different parts of the world or the UK at the same time. So hopefully, again, let us know what you're using. So pop culture. Question number 1. Are you ready, dear quizzers? Our Prime Minister's name is Boris Johnson. But actually, Boris is not his real first name. What is Boris's first name? As a clue, it's also the first name of the Scottish inventor of the telephone.
And get well soon, Boris. We're all hoping for you here in Canada.
Absolutely, we need our Prime Minister back and well. So the question as a repetition was, what is Boris's first name? Okay, I can see some virtual conferring going on. Everyone's like, I know that, I don't know that. And again, Eric, no Google, no Yahoo, no Bing, whatever search engine, none of that. We're all, Eric and I, all about integrity. Okay, question number, oh, I forgot my little props here. Question number
Where are we at?
2. So question number 2 is, so my father was so inspired by reading this book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So much so, that he actually named me Seagull from birth after this. I'm only Bobby Seagull because of this book. So your question, puzzler, is to tell us the surname, which I've covered up, of the author of the book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And as a clue, this surname is also the surname of Eric's favorite classical composer who created the Brandenburg Concertos. So question number 2 is, who is the author, surname-wise, of Jonathan Livingston Seagull? Think, talk. And question number 3. Oh, if you put that together, you get 36, I think. 6 squared, sort of. Or was that 36? Okay. It's weird. Now, if you put the number next to my shirt.
Oh, yeah, 63.
63. Okay. Okay.
Move it over.
If I
Move it over a little bit, then you get 36 there. Go down there. You got 36.
Or you get 3 to the power of 6.
3 to the power of 6.
Or 6 to the power of 3.
Power of 3.
Yeah, that's
if you put a little soccer ball in the corner there, be a multiplication sign. You could get 6 times 3.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, exactly. 6 times 3. Lots of arithmetic going along here. Which brings me actually very nicely to question 3. In 2017, there's lots of quick maths going around in school playgrounds. The children actually all learned that if you add 2 plus 2, which you get 4, and you subtract 1, you end up with 3. And if you're thinking that's a random set of numbers, actually, this formed part of the viral sensation song, Man's Not Hot. And in Man's Not Hot, a pop star, a comedian turned rapper, wore a jacket and a baseball cap. I couldn't find a baseball cap, Eric. I was looking for one today. We looked all over the house, but I think my brother Tommy's taken all the baseball hats. So this man did the song, Man's Not Hot, which had an addition of 2 plus 2, which equals 4, minus 1 is 3. He called it quick maths. So I want you to tell me the name of the British comedian turned rapper that performed Man's Not Hot. And obviously, he had a jacket on, and he said, Man's not hot, but if he's wearing a jacket, he's going to be hot. Eric, are you warm with your jumper sometimes?
It's sometimes. It's warming up here in Canada.
Yeah, it's not a bad day today in London. Yeah. Okay, so now it's going to be time for question number 4. Question 4. So, my favorite show, Eric's wondering what's going on here.
There should be some exceptions here.
My favorite show on a Saturday night, mainly over the winter, and maybe it's many of our viewers' nice shows as well. Ooh, we can see something coming on here. It is, oh my God. It is this show. Okay, what show do you reckon this could be for?
Britain's Next Top Model?
Next top mathematical model. So this is meant to be an outfit I could maybe one day wear on Strictly. So this is Strictly Come Dancing. Many people like Strictly. I like Strictly. My mum loves Strictly. We actually cried about some of the contestants being eliminated this year. But this year it was won by Kelvin and Oti. Oti's sister actually is a judge on the panel. What is the name of Oti's sister? That's the question. That's question number 4. And then question 5.
What's the question 4 again?
Oh, question 4 is what is the name of Oti's sister on the Strictly Come Dancing panel? Hence why I'm wearing this outrageous Strictly style. A lot of sequins.
Ready for the 70s again?
Ready for the 70s. Night fever. Actually, fever. Maybe that's the right choice of word right now. Okay. Question number 5. Question number 5. So next Saturday, if you tune into BBC One at 6:25, I'm actually on Celebrity Mastermind in a black chair. This is a red chair. It's going to be a black chair. And on Celebrity Mastermind, you get asked questions in general knowledge, but you also have to pick a specialist subject. And surprisingly, you're going to think, Mr. Seagull, a maths teacher, he's picking maths, isn't he? I didn't. I actually picked England at the World Cup. So England at the World Cup. So I'm going to give you a question that I revised during that. So during the 2018 World Cup, England fans would sit there going, Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on. Football's coming home again. So lots of fans would sing this. And actually, it's based on a song or parodied on a song called Whole Again by a British girl band in the year 2000. So I want you to tell me which British girl band wrote the song Whole Again in the year 2000. Okay, should I quickly recap the questions, Eric, for our listeners? Listeners, viewers?
I think we should hear them again, yes.
Okay, so very quickly, question 1. What is Boris Johnson's first name? Boris is not the answer, by the way, just in case. Question 2. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, the book. What is the surname of the author? Question 3. Man's Not Hot is performed by which British comedian turned rapper? Question 4. Oti Mabuse on Strictly, what is the name of her sister who's a judge on the show? And question number 5.
We need first and last name for question 4, or just first name, or
first name will be, we accept the first name. Except
first name.
And then question number 5. In the 2018 World Cup, fans sang a version of Whole Again. Which British girl band sang that song in 2000? There you go.
If we give our viewers some time to think about it, maybe argue and
argue nicely though. It's like
argue politely. Argue politely, important in these times of closeness, of isolation, to maintain good relations with those with whom you are isolating. All right, how are we doing? Are we ready for the next round?
Ready.
All right, it's geography. A film with the English titles The Climbers was released last year in China. What mountain is climbed in the film? So, what mountain do they climb in The Climbers? White, yellow, black. These words all appear in the names of seas. What sea with a colorful name makes a complete chromatic quartet? Now we want the name, just so what sea, not listed in those 3 I've already listed, has a color in its name. Your next question is about principalities. The Principality of Andorra has 2 co-princes. One is the Bishop of Urgell. The other is also the head of state of which other country? So which other country has a head of state who also happens to be the co-prince of Andorra? Your next question, potash. Potash is a component of some fertilizers. According to the United States Geological Survey, which country produced the most potash in 2019? So, which country produced the most potash 2019? And finally, what is the only British overseas territory in the Pacific Ocean? So, think far away. Unless you happen to be following us from the Pacific Ocean.
That would be quite cool if we had a Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So I think people are thinking away.
I'm going to read the first. I'll read them all again quickly. So geography is the category. A film with the English title The Climbers was released last year in China. It depicts an attempt by Chinese mountaineers to climb which mountain? Your next question is, name a sea that isn't the White Sea, Yellow Sea, or Black Sea that has a color in its name. Next question. The Principality of Andorra has 2 co-princes. One is the Bishop of Urgell. The other is also the head of state of which other countries? We need the name of the country, not the name of the head of state. Next question. Potash is a component of some fertilizers. Important one, in fact. According to the United States Geological Survey, which country produced the most potash in 2019? And finally, what is the only British overseas territory in the Pacific Ocean? Give that some thought. Do we allow consulting maps if you have one? If you're fortunate enough to have a map on your wall, maybe you can have a look at it.
Yeah, we will take that. You shouldn't walk to get resources.
Yeah, you shouldn't walk to get resources. But if you have a map that happens to be right on your wall, you can have a look there. And I think next up we'll do the answers. Are we ready for that? Should we give this more time, Bobby?
Yeah, we'll give them maybe about 10 more seconds.
Okay.
So the 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. So here are the answers. So give yourselves a tick and a point for the correct answer and a cross. No negative scoring in our marking, is there? Okay, so question 1 in pop culture. Question 1. Boris's first name is Alexander.
Now, is one of his names actually Boris?
Yeah, so Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, I think. Pronunciation is probably horrendous, but that's what it is. And again, get well soon, Boris.
Yes.
Question 1. Question 2. So my dad named me after the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull, and the author is Bach, Bach, which is also Eric's favorite composer, Bach.
Indeed.
And then question number 3. Man's not hot. I'm not wearing the big puffer jacket, but if I did, this ridiculous. It's actually like, it's really untrendy, but it's really good in the winter. Eric, if I visit, some stage I'll visit you in Canada, and this jacket was amazing. It's so warm. I think you've seen me wear it before, possibly.
Does it have a hood, that one? I don't.
Oh, it does. It's got a really terrible hood. If I unzip here, I can pull out the hood. But it's not very good.
That's what you need to have in if it's winter here.
Yes.
Well, we'll find out. Come and visit in the winter, and you'll
yeah,
find
winter. So question 3, Man's Not Hot, is by Big Shaq or Michael DePar. So you can put Big Shaq or Michael DePar. Either will give you the answer. Question number. We're trying to get number 4. Number 4. Question 4. Oti Mabuse's sister is called Motsi, M-O-T-S-I. And Motsi actually likes doing my maths puzzles. So shout out to Motsi for doing strictly and maths. That's what we like. Dancing people and maths people. And then question 5, the last one on the popular culture round. The song Whole Again by Atomic Kitten actually is by Atomic Kitten. I said the answer in the question. Yeah, Atomic Kitten. Sorry. Don't know what happened there. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Cut. No, there's no cut in this. You're just gonna have to accept that. Eric, did you know? In series 1 for Monkman and Seagull, I used to wear a jacket and tie, and then for series 2, it's actually Eric's wearing his famous jumper. Eric, you got your collar in, collar out?
Collar's out today.
I like that. Actually, I wear the waistcoat ever since Gareth Southgate was on An Inspiring Manager. I was so inspired. I thought like Mr. Seagull. So I'm like Gareth Seagull in school. Waistcoat. And that's what I wear for series 2. Although you can see my trousers are red like West End Claret. Although I wear these ones, Eric. You know this for series 2, yeah?
Well, you wore some other clothes too, I think.
I did, yeah. But this is just for the recording. There you go. That's your popular culture.
You can see some pictures of Bobby and me in some other interesting outfits if you check us out on social media.
This is not 2 meters. 2 of these trousers. 2 pink length trousers away from each other. Okay, that's pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay, time for answers in geography. So, The Climbers depicts an attempt by Chinese mountaineers to climb Mount Everest.
Ooh. And was it also meant to be, I think the guy George Everest who discovered Everest, it should technically be called Mount Everest because his name is pronounced Everest.
Maybe, I guess but I think he didn't even want it to be named Mount Everest because his name was hard to pronounce by people there. I think, was it he discovered or he measured the height?
Yes, he measured the height.
He measured the height. I mean, they knew it was there, so it's hard to miss, but they didn't know it was a special mountain. And highest mountain in the world, but I don't think it's the highest that, like, it doesn't extend the furthest into the atmosphere because Kilimanjaro is closer to the equator.
Yes, I think that's right.
I think so. And Olympus Mons on Mars, I believe, is taller as well. But it's not on Earth, of course. So white, yellow, and black, these words all appear in the names of seas. What sea with a colorful name makes a complete chromatic quartet? It is...
Oh, we're going to find out. Oh, it's going to be a surprise, and it
is the Red Sea.
Oh, I like that. That's nice. Eric.
Not actually the color of the water of the Red Sea.
That'd be quite scary.
However, I should add, for the previous question about Everest, we will accept Chomolungma or Sagarmatha, which are also names for that mountain. And for this question about the Red Sea, we would also accept the Greenland Sea as a color in its name. And there is also the Vermilion Sea, better known as the Gulf of California or the Sea of Cortez. So that's right sort of off on the Pacific coast of Mexico. There's a big Baja California peninsula and a sea in between there. So the American state of California is not the only California. There is a Baja California, Mexico too. The Principality of Andorra has two co-princes. One is the Bishop of Urgell. The other is Emmanuel Macron. So the answer to this question is France. Emmanuel Macron is co-prince of Andorra, but also president of the Republic of France.
Big responsibilities he has.
Yeah, I think he's visited Andorra a few times.
I hope so.
Yeah. Potash is a component of some fertilizers. According to the United States Geological Survey, which country produced the most potash in 2019? That is Canada.
Oh, Eric, you're doing a great job as an ambassador for Canada and their potash industry.
Yes, well, it's an important one. It's potash mining is a big industry over in the Canadian West in Saskatchewan, along with oil and gas. It's also big, I believe, in Russia and Belarus and also around the Dead Sea. It's a very important component, provides potassium nitrates, I believe, to the soil.
Yes.
There are a bunch of different. So I'll tell you for certain here.
Checking out potash, Eric?
Potash, yes. Potassium chloride, potassium carbonate, potassium sulfate, potassium nitrate. So all these, not potassium, yes. So all of those potassium required for plants to grow. And what is the only British overseas territory in the Pacific Ocean? It is Pitcairn Island. Also acceptable are Pitcairn, Henderson, Ducie, and Weno. Several islands in the group, but Pitcairn Island is the inhabited one. And I had to look this up because apparently the Southern Ocean is a thing. So the British Antarctic Territory is not in the Pacific Ocean. So if you got Pitcairn Island, give yourself a point. And that's the first two rounds. Tally up your points. Let us know how you did on social media. And when Bobby's ready, we'll go to the next round.
Great. So you should have a score out of 10. Some of you got a perfect 10. Tricky. Some of you get 0.
Okay.
Most in between, I'm hoping. And no half points. None of these half points, okay? Make sure you're comparing with your family on WhatsApp or your FaceTime or what is it? Family app? There's a new app as well. What's it called? There's another app today. House Party. That's the one where you can like all watch at the same time. Now, next round is charades. I'm going to have to move back a bit for this. Charades. So, in this round, I will attempt to act out a famous world figure. For example, imagine I did this. That could be Eric Monkman. Well, actually, what was your buzzer technique, Eric?
I don't think I had any particular.
Okay. If I did that, imagine, I had a collar, I had an outfit that with a jumper and some glasses. That could be Eric Monkman. It could be, but some of the answers are Eric in this one, Eric. Okay, so these are 5 world figures. Okay, number 1. That is question number 1. Time for question number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Wait for this, ladies and gentlemen. will be worth the wait. That is question number 2. Now coming up is question number 3. Question 3 coming up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, parents, grandparents. Actually, I've got a better one than this. What about this? I've got a... That's question number 3. Question number 4 coming right up. That was question number 4, my pupils. Question number 5 is coming up now. Question number 5. This takes a little bit of effort, and you've got to be very creative to think about this. You're going to have to think laterally. Look at my outfit. It's going to be a bit of a crazy outfit, Eric. Don't get too shocked.
Yes.
Let's see. I've got 2 choices here. I'm going to go for this one here. Got a couple of choices. Oh, actually, I'm going to go for this one. Oh, nice. Okay. Number 5 coming up. That was question number 5, boys and girls. So I will do them all very quickly without any of my amazing props. Thank you to Papa Seagull for sourcing the props for us. So question 1 was this. Question 2 was question 3 was question 4 was, and question 5 was, there you go. That's your charades, boys and girls. Quite tired, Eric, after that. Bit of exercise.
Yeah, gets the blood going a bit.
Yeah.
All right. We're now moving on to the history round. The heptarchy is a term used to refer to 7 kingdoms that historically existed in what present-day country? So what present-day country did the heptarchy used to be in? Well, it wasn't a country back then. You know what I mean.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, Benjamin Harrison succeeded Grover Cleveland as President of the United States. Who succeeded Benjamin Harrison as president? Question 3, we'll go to South Asia. The Mughal Empire was established by Babur in which century? Its formation followed the conquest of Delhi. So the Mughal Empire, what century did it start? Question 4, which then British colony was the first to grant women the right to vote in parliamentary elections? Women's suffrage, which British colony had it first? Question 5, the historian Anna Komnene wrote the Alexiad, an account of the reign of her father, Emperor Alexius Komnenos? What name is often used to describe her father's empire in order to distinguish it from a predecessor? So Anna Komnena, Emperor Alexius, what empire? Now I'll go through all the history questions again. I don't think it'll be quite as exciting as the charades recap, but still fun. So the heptarchy is a term used to refer to 7 kingdoms that historically existed in what present-day country? Question 2. Benjamin Harrison succeeded Grover Cleveland as President of the United States. Who succeeded Benjamin Harrison as president? Question 3. The Mughal Empire was established by Babur in which century? Its formation followed the conquest of Delhi. Question 4. Which then British colony was the first to grant women the right to vote in parliamentary elections? And question 5. The historian Anna Komnena wrote the Alexiad, an account of the reign of her father, Emperor Alexios Komnenos. What name is often used to refer to her father's empire in order to distinguish it from a predecessor? All right, guess give them some time to reenact the charades for each other and see if they can figure out who it is.
Yeah. And if you want to complain about the quality of my charades, I'm not going to be listening. Tweet me all you want. I'm not going to change. I'm going to be as bad as I am at charades. Yeah, if you want to give advice, I take advice. Complaints.
No. Send them elsewhere.
Send it to Label One TV. Don't do that.
No.
Okay. So again, please let us know how you're doing on Twitter at _Monkman.
Yes.
And then for myself, Bobby_Seagull on Twitter and Instagram, Label One TV. And also, I'm thinking, Eric, of getting a TikTok soon. Have you heard of TikTok?
I've heard of them, never used them.
Yeah, it's another social media that a lot of my students who are 13, 14 use. And it's like short little clips. So you sort of dance along and do little memes. Like I could teach you, for example, the 9 times table, like have a song. Happy, 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 happy. 9 times 3 is 10s, and then 7 units, 27. 9 times 5 would be, and I do like a dance, happy, happy, happy. 9 times 5 is 4 10s, 5 units is 40. Does that sort of make sense?
It's sort of, it's a method that's beyond me, I think.
Okay, but that's what you do on TikTok, silly stuff. So if you're on TikTok, talk about how much fun you're having here as well. So, question, answers. So number 1 was Usain St. Leo Bolt. I was doing this famous Bolt sign, obviously. And Bolt would be acceptable. Bolt is acceptable. Number 2 was Gangnam Style, but so it's by Psy, P-S-Y. If you put Gangnam Style, you don't get any marks. You got to put P-S-Y, the name. I didn't ask for the style of dance I wonderfully demonstrated.
Park Jae-song, right?
Yes, so they get that as well. Park Jae-song or Psy, P-S-Y. Or S-I, if you got weird spelling, we'll accept that.
Okay.
Question 3, my dad found this cigar, never been used in the house. Winston Churchill. Churchill is fine, or the dog. Churchill the dog, but it's not, we didn't mean Churchill the dog, but if you put that down, you still get the marks because Churchill. Okay. Question 5 was, Eric, you did a question 4. Eric, you did a great impression of question 4. What was your one? Yeah, I think that's yours. I actually on YouTube looked up the waving of Her Majesty the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II. If you put Queen the band, we won't accept the answer. Just Queen, Our Majesty the Queen. And number 5, Eric, what did you think it might be?
I was going to say, well, if you hadn't been wearing that skirt, I would have said Elvis.
I can see the hip shaky. And you know, I did the hip shaky bit. And then I sort of did, that's meant to be not lying. The hips don't lie. Shakira, the great 90s, noughties pop star who's married to a Gerard Piqué from Barcelona. So Shakira, that was a tricky one. One of my friends did get it. Shout out to Susan Okereke from Maths Appeal, who I tested it on, and she sort of laughed and said that's bonkers and ridiculous, which it was, but she got it correct. There you go. You get a mark out of 5 for charades.
Wasn't Elvis.
No, sadly not. If it's Elvis, you get sorry, Eric.
Not too bad. All right, time for your answers in history. The heptarchy is a term used to refer to 7 kingdoms that historically existed in what is now England, or the United Kingdom, or Britain.
Why many foreign translations of Britain?
Angleterre. Ingor. Benjamin Harrison succeeded Grover Cleveland as President of the United States. Who came after Benjamin Harrison? The answer is Grover Cleveland.
There you go.
Well, the only person so far to have had 2 different non-consecutive terms as President of the United States. The Mughal Empire was established by Babur in the 16th century, 1526 to be exact. Which British colony was the first to grant women the right to vote in parliamentary elections? New Zealand.
Or Aotearoa? Is that the Aboriginal?
Aotearoa, the Maori name? Yeah, Aotearoa, we'd accept that. And your final history question. Anna Komnena and Alexios Komnenos were from the Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. All right, let's know how you're doing. Hopefully you've enjoyed our first 4 rounds. That's what, 20 points so far that you could possibly get?
Yeah, 20 points. None of this sneaky 21. No, 16 and a half. You're getting the point or you're not getting the point.
Yeah, it's a binary thing. Either on or off. It's like a light switch.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you, continuous?
Continuous, yeah, it's
math?
a discrete rather than,
discrete,
actually,
yeah.
even they could argue that a half, but it's ours a discrete on the unit. No half units, there's no bonus points here. You get the point or not. So let us know on Twitter at @E_Monkman, Bobby_Seagull on Twitter and Instagram, Label 1 TV on Twitter, how you doing? And again, tell your family, be competitive. We want you to beat your family. If you're from London and you've got family in Gloucestershire, we want London to win. No, I won't say that. I got family in Gloucestershire. Actually, if they're watching now, sorry, uncle and auntie. Okay. Eric, the last 2 rounds now.
Yeah, time flies. How'd we get here?
Yeah, I don't know. We are here. So now this round is the school round. So I got my school badge here, Little Ilford School not in East Ham, in Manor Park. So I'm now Mr. Seagull. And in this round, there's 5 questions. In theory, if you've got young people in the house under 18, under 16, even under 11, they should be able to get them. In fact, they might be able to help you out. So get them, call them. So Auntie Margaret, call down little Lisa and Jimmy. Lisa, Jimmy, the Monkman and Seagull quiz, they got questions for you. And now they're probably going, we don't know who they are, Mum and Dad. They've got really cool Twitter and Instagram accounts. We don't care. Yes, bring them along. Bring them along. They're needed now, Eric.
They can help.
This one in particular.
This is their round.
So the school round approved by Key Stage 1, 2, and 3, and 4 curriculums by Mr. Seagull. Okay. Question number 1. So I'm an ambassador for the charity called National Numeracy. And their aim is to help people across the country improve their levels of numeracy skills. And this year, actually, National Numeracy Day is on the 13th of May. So in about 6 weeks' time. And here's a question. They asked a proportion, or sort of a sample of adults, and only 50% of adults could get this correct, even with a calculator. So this is a non-calculator question for you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're earning £9 an hour, £9 an hour, and your boss, manager, is very generous and says, I'm going to give you a 5% pay rise. What is your new amount earned per hour? So you're earning £9 an hour and you get a 5% increase. What is your new hourly rate? So I'll let people's brains tick away here, discussions. And I don't want anyone saying I can't do maths. You can do maths.
This is where your pencil and paper you can use if you want.
Yep. So I'm going to do the working out at the same time
Using it
as you.
all along.
Okay. Okay. That's question 1. So question number 2. One of my favorite songs is Purple Rain, the Prince version. If you were in a classroom and you tried to make the color purple using paints, what 2 colors would you use? So in a classroom, if you
It
try,
works elsewhere too.
it does, in a classroom or anywhere else. That would be quite scary if it didn't work outside a classroom. But I'm definitely confident it happens in the classroom. If you try to make the paint color purple, what 2 colors would you need to combine to make purple? I know lots of children going, I know that, Mum. That's why this round's for you, boys and girls. Question number 3. In my school library, one of the most popular books among year 7 students is my book. No, it's not. Actually, there are children that read my book. It is there. They got 1 copy of it only 1 copy. And sometimes when it's not taken out, a student will pretend, he'll get there, go, oh, Mr. Seagull, I'm reading your book. Some of them do, but I think my book, it's not the most popular, unfortunately. There's only 1 copy.
I
I'll
hope you
tell
signed it for them.
It is signed. It says, Mr. Bobby Seagull. I've got a cool signature. You got a cool signature as well. It's got a signature that says, good luck with your studying. But actually, the one there's lots of copies of is something called A Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Loads of my year 7 students love the book. So your question is, again, ask your kids, what is the surname of the author of A Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Is that popular in Canada, Eric?
Oh yes, pretty big here. Yeah, most all the bookstores have lots of copies.
So you'll find out.
Libraries too, I think.
You'll find out why Eric is moving very soon. He's not just got bored of the quiz. He's not got bored of your YouTube comments saying it's too hard, it's too easy. He's left. Eric's done. He's done with it. He's finished. He's had enough. You've driven him off our quiz. What have you done with your comments? Okay. So question number 4. Last week, lots of young people and adults were tuning into YouTube channel called The Body Coach. And a man called Mr. Joe Wicks was the nation's PE teacher with PE lessons from 9 to 9:30. But actually, he made his name partly before through a series of best-selling books called Lean In Something. There's a number here. I want you to tell me what number that would have been. Lean in a particular number. And I've covered it up with a bit of piece of paper. So Lean In Something is Joe Wicks's, the Body Coach's, famous set of books. If I turn the book at an angle, you'll see it there, but I'm not going to do that for you. That's question 4. And then question number, oops, I need to move something. I put something on the keyboard. This could terminate the recording session. Hold on. I've got to be careful. See, this thing about live YouTube recording, this is not the BBC. This is Monkman and Seagull. Okay, we're back in business. Question number 5. A triangle with 2 sides of equal length is called...
And one side is different.
Yes, that's right. One side is different. 2 sides of equal length and one side is not, like that. It's called, and you're thinking that's the question. That's not the question. We know it's called an isosceles. Your question is, can you spell isosceles? Can you spell isosceles for us? Okay, I'll repeat the 5 questions for you. So question 1, you're earning £9 an hour and your boss gives you a 5% pay rise. What is your new hourly rate? Question number 2, if you have, or you're trying to create the color purple in a classroom or anywhere else, like Eric said, could be in Canada, could be in a house, what 2 colors do you need? Question number 3, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is written by which author? We just need the surname. Diary of a Wimpy Kid is written by which author? Question number 4, Joe Wicks, the Body Coach. And again, let us know if you've been doing his sessions. It had like millions of people doing his amazing Body Coach sessions Monday to Friday at 9 o'clock. His book is called Lean In a Particular Number. What number is it? It's not 1, I'm telling you, or 2. Have a guess. And question number, I'm stalling, can I find a 5? Question number 5 is, spell the word isosceles for me. Exactly, precisely, correctly. There you go. That's question number 5. Time for the last round, Eric.
Time for the last round. Okay. Well, today is World Piano Day.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Eric.
Yeah.
Happy World Camera Day to you.
World Piano Day. You know why it's World Piano Day?
Tell me, please.
88th day of the year.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
That's how many keys there are on a piano. 88 keys.
Ah, wonderful.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play excerpts from 5 different musical compositions by classical composers. Your job is to name the classical composer who composed the excerpt. So, your first question will be, who composed this excerpt? So here's question 1 again. All right. On to question 2. I'll give you a little while to write down the name. I move down the piano. Who wrote this excerpt? Again. Maybe a little more even. Question 2. And we're happy with just the last names of the composers. Our next one is, who composed this excerpt? This is question 3. To you again. And time for question 4. So who wrote that excerpt? I'll give it to you one more time. Question 4. And question 5. Who wrote this excerpt? And one more time. Let's start that one again. All right, so there's your questions 1 through 5. I will play each one more time.
Thank you, Eric.
All right. Question 1. looking for name of composer. Question 2. And question 3. And question 4. And question 5. All right. Now you can all try and hum them and try and remember and, you know, give you a little bit of time to write it down. Now for the answers, we're going to do the music round answers first, so I can be at the piano.
Makes sense. Now, well, very good playing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's almost like the Universe Challenge music round where you have to be on the buzzer, but they get a bit more time this time.
Yeah, have some time to think. All right. Your answers are question 1. That is the swan from the Carnival of the Animals. The next one is question 2. Oh, and the composer of Carnival of the Animals is Camille Saint-Saëns, which is the answer we were looking for. So if you wrote Camille Saint-Saëns or just Saint-Saëns for question 1, you get the point. If you knew the song, good job. That's good, but you don't get any extra points for it.
No.
No extra points. All right, next one. That you might recognize a bit better if I played from the beginning. That is Ludwig van Beethoven, Moonlight Sonata. Question 2, Ludwig van Beethoven. The next one is now this question is a bit of a callback to an earlier question, because the answer is indeed Johann Sebastian Bach.
Bach.
Bach. He comes up twice. Wow, different Bachs.
Bach to Bach.
Bach to Bach. So that was Prelude in C minor from the Well-Tempered Clavier. Is the beginning, and what you heard earlier was the end. Question 4. Is Prelude in E minor, Opus 28, number 4 by Frédéric Chopin. So if you wrote Chopin, you get the point for question 4. And finally, we have this one here. That is Frederick Handel that is actually based on a famous tune called La Folia, which begins something like this. And so on. And many composers from all over the world and all different periods, I think really from the Renaissance on to modern day even, use that tune and do their own variations. But the particular one that you were hearing that I was playing for you in question 5 was by George Frederick Handel. All right, so tally up your points for the music round, and we'll get on to the schools round when Bobby's ready.
Yeah, so now you should have a score out of 25, maximum 25, minimum 0, no detentions, no punishments where, we're going to let you go and revise for future. So let us know how you're doing on Twitter at @E_Monkman, or at Bobby_Seagull on Twitter or Instagram, and at Label One TV, the guys who make Monkman and Seagull's Genius Guide. And our series 2 is coming out very soon, which Eric talked to you about, the Genius Guide to the Age of Invention.
Age of Invention.
Lots of inventions. So now this one is the one where the children are going to make the difference. The children, or if you've got a child at heart. We're all young at heart.
Although, the children could have got a lot of questions right in some of the other rounds. There's some pretty clever kids out there.
I hope they got Psy Gangnam Style. I hope they got.
Yeah.
Okay. So question 1 was a national numeracy question. If you're earning £9 an hour and your boss gives you a 5% pay rise, what is your new hourly amount? So the way to think about this is there are multiple ways. One way is you can work out 10% of a number. So 10% of £9. I tell my students, convert £9 into pennies. So there's 100 pennies in a pound. So there's 900 pennies in £9. So 10% of 900 pennies is you can divide it by 10. 900 divided by 10 gives you 90p. That's 10%. And now the question is asking for 5%. So we can half the 10%, half the 90p. That gives you 45p. And you add it back on. Don't forget that. £9.45. And that's the answer.
That question would have been a lot harder pre-decimalization.
It would have been very difficult. So thankfully, it's a post-decimalization question. But surprisingly, only one that 50% of adults in the UK have been able to get correct, even with the calculator. And actually,
I wonder if some of those were just like they refused to switch to the decimal system.
Oh, that'd be an interesting bit of research, right?
Yeah.
I think it does show like a issue of innumeracy, or people not willing to engage with numbers.
And if you like, interesting to see the age breakdown. I mean, I wonder how that would work depending on age. What age group cohort got that question most correct.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see. And actually, my students in school in particular recognize that. Or if anyone wants to find out more about why I love maths, I've done a TEDx talk in Kingston upon Thames. And actually on my Twitter handle and possibly on my Instagram, it's on my bio. And if you watch that, it's 16 minutes and 50 seconds of Bobby Seagull talking about why he loves maths, and hopefully persuading you why maths is quite a cool subject. Okay, question 2 was the color purple. In a classroom or elsewhere, Eric said, it could be anywhere else. We need 2 colors, and it's going to provide a demonstration of this answer, actually, I hope.
All right. Well, here's something I prepared earlier. We have the Red Sea.
Yes.
And add a little bit of blue.
Red and blue. And, what are we going to get?
What are we going to get? Purple. Yeah.
That's very nice, Eric. So red and blue were the 2 answers we're looking for. So you need both of them. Again, no half points here. If you put red and yellow, or red and green, or blue and yellow, you get 0. Red and blue.
You could use a different color, like if you had a different word for blue, like cerulean or turquoise, or we'd accept that. Turquoise or a different red, crimson, mixed crimson and turquoise or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So question 3 was Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's, I hoping that it'll be this book is the most popular, but it's not. It's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, many young people. And the author is Jeff Kinney, Kinney. Spelling's not needed, but Kinney is what we're looking for. Eric, that's quite popular in Canada as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he's pretty big here. Well, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is pretty big here.
Okay, so the next question, lean in. So Joe Wicks, I've been doing a few of his workouts as well. He's an awesome guy, the nation's PE teacher. And this is the answer. It's lean in. 15 minutes. He says 15-minute meals and workouts to keep you lean and healthy. So if you follow his recipes, you can be lean and healthy. Or do his workouts. That was question 4. 15 was the answer. And then
last question.
Last one. So here, so you got to now, you'll know whether you're in touching distance or not. You can make your own rules. You can do like double or quits in the last one, but that's not up to us. We're saying 1 point per answer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is your last chance to get a point.
It is. It's all on this nothing. Isosceles. So I tell my students, think of isosages. I'm not sure why, but someone said that to me once and it stuck in my head. Isosages. So ISOSCELES. So it's ISOSCELES. And need every single letter in the right order, exactly, correctly, precisely. Or you get 0. Eric, the word isosceles.
Yeah, I think it comes from the Greek for equal legs. Iso being equal, as in isotope, equal.
Isotherm.
Isotherm, yeah, equal isotherm. That's a good one. Or isotherm equal heat on a map, or isobar equal pressure on a map. Yes, so iso being equal and scleros being legs. I guess at one time they called sides of a triangle legs, and I think that still sort of carries on. If you have a right triangle, you have 2 legs and a hypotenuse.
Correct. And there you got it. You should have a score of 30.
Score of 30.
And again, hopefully on the comments on YouTube, on Twitter, Instagram, you're letting us know @E_Monkman, @Bobby_Seagull, Twitter, Instagram, or @Label1TV, because they make our new TV series. Let us know what your scores are.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and I hope you have a great evening, and maybe see you again soon.
Let us know if you liked it. If you like it, you never know. You could come back.
Okay.
Okay, it's signing off from Bobby Seagull in East Ham in the London Borough of Newham.
And signing off from Eric Monkman in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Good evening. Good night.
Good evening.